So let me get this straight. Alex Bowman, the showman, takes home his first Cup Series win last week at Chicago at the age of 26. And this week, Justin Haley gets the storm of the century that places him on the podium at just 20 years old. Talk about a turning point in the season. If this is any indication of what's to come, well, I'm looking forward to it. Before we get to Daytona, here's a shout out as promised to one lucky Rearview fan, Montana Brown, who said Bowman, quote, drove the absolute wheels off that car. The battle between him and Larson was a thing of beauty. Didn't know who to pull for there at the end. That's what good racing is all about. Well, that and the sweet sound of drivers starting their engines. Postponed to Sunday afternoon after gloomy skies kept them away on Saturday, the Cup drivers finally got down to business. And, well, business can be messy. Brad Keselowski promised not to lift at Thursday's practice, and he wasn't lying.
Two-car Brad Keselowski pushing Kevin Harvick. Oh, he turns him sideways. Oh, my God. He ain't lifted. He is not lifted.
Yep, Brad came to play, but Kevin Harvick pulled out a save and prevented disaster. But one doesn't just forget a bump like that. Harvick taps the two in a deja vu move, and Brad flies into the wall. Cars go spinning everywhere. Daniel Hemrick and Kurt Busch get caught in chaos and go for a nice drift. Miraculously, Joey Logano escapes the eye of the storm unscathed. But that was nothing compared to the big one. Austin Dillon tries to pass Denny Hamlin, can't keep up. Here comes the 14, but the 3 blocks Clint Boyer, and it sets off a ricochet of destruction.
Continues Austin Dillon up front. They shifted him out.
Gonna be a big one.
And now around goes the 3 in front of the pack. They're all collected. The 11 with damage, the 22 as well.
Big right here.
Whew, that is one hell of a ride that caught 18 cars in total. Well, sometimes fortune favors the lucky. Unsurprisingly, there were plenty of comments post-cleanup.
You know, I mean, hey, kid was doing everything he was trying to do to stay in the lead. It was just pretty foolish.
I don't know. It's part of this kind of racing. I was being aggressive and trying to keep the lead, and that's what you get. You know, it's part of it.
Just when everything was looking good to go, the clouds and fate changed in a second. Then leader Kurt Busch decided to pit under caution, leading the 77 Spire Motorsports Chevrolet up front and as the definitive leader when the race was red flagged thanks to an incoming storm. As lightning moved in, Haley waited anxiously for news. Despite the drivers keeping busy and even being called back at one point, lightning struck for Haley and Haley only. In just his 3rd Cup Series start, Haley became the 2nd youngest Cup winner at Daytona. Wow, that is quite the feat, and he should be very proud of himself. As the saying goes, life is a story, and there are plenty more chapters in Haley's book to go.
It's truly a blessing. I never even saw myself running a Cup race until I got a call a few months ago to do Talladega. Man, it's just unreal. I don't know how to feel.
But let's not forget about the Xfinity Series, who had plenty of their own drama Friday afternoon. Looks like watermelon is the fruit of victors because Ross Chastain just can't stay away from victory lane.
I watched these races as a kid every 4th of July. I never could come in the spring because we were growing watermelons. These guys right here gave me a race car. Oh my gosh. They could win a race at Daytona. We did it!
The night got off to a wild start as an early wreck kept the field on its toes. Cesar Baccarella gets loose, hits the 36, which hits the 00, and the 90 collects the 22 of Austin Cindric. The crash collected 8 drivers and left the 07 of Ray Black Jr. a little hot to the touch. Then Sheldon Creed and John Hunter Nemechek both go for a spin in the grass, with the 23 kicking up so much dirt it looked like a small explosion. But we're not done yet. Tyler Reddick and Chase Briscoe bring chaos of their own that leaves the 98 without much of a front. Oof, that one's gonna leave a mark. And we're still not done. Yep, the big one to end them all struck, and it struck hard. Michael Annett gets loose, smashes the wall, and half the field gets taken with him, leaving 11 cars in the dust. Now, let's see that from Christopher Bell's perspective.
The 39. One up. On. Easy, get mid. Get up. Wreck it behind you.
Woo! Talk about nerve-wracking, or nerve-wrecking, or should I say car-wrecking? Congrats to Colleague Racing going 1-2 and to Chastain for another smashing win.
On the finish line.
He always brings the passion and a watermelon, of course. That's it for Rearview Mirror. Check back in next week and see if another first-time winner can get lucky in Kentucky.